Good morning, everybody. It's the 9th of January today, 2022. So we are post-Christmas now and post-New Year. Big celebrations that usually involve a fair amount of alcohol. As I've already alluded to in my sort of Christmas videos, I didn't partake in any alcohol during that time. I didn't find it too difficult. I was helped by the fact that a couple of the people on Christmas Day weren't drinking as well for medical reasons, so that did help. But I found a couple more non-alcoholic wines, which are actually the best I found so far, to assist, if you like. But we're entering dry January. It was always my intention anyway to continue with my journey. We're now heading towards 6 months of not having any alcohol, and it is, I think that comes on something like very early February. I can't actually remember I remember the day I gave up alcohol, but I don't remember the day. You think that would be sort of burnt into my mind that day, but it wasn't. And maybe that says something a little bit about how the journey for me has been, because it hasn't been as difficult as I expected. Don't get me wrong, I could have easily had a drink many times, particularly around Christmas and celebrations. I could have easily, in fact, I wanted one, but it wasn't a strong enough urge for me to have one, and so I was able to get through it. I really don't know why that is, because, you know, I've had a 40-year relationship with alcohol, wedded to alcohol in a sense, and all of a sudden, and for the last, 5+ months, it's been out of my life. Which, as I think I've said quite a few times, I'm just frankly astounded by. I just didn't believe I'd be in this position. As we sit today, in a sense, it's wonderful. In a sense, it's slightly, I sort of miss something. It's like I've lost a bit of a friend, but it's not a friend that necessarily I want to be friendly with too much. But it is different. And maybe on another video I'll talk about some of the benefits I've experienced, but the purpose of these videos have been very much to sort of document how I feel, what I've gone through, what stage I'm at, for my own purposes and for anybody else that may get any benefit from them. Because it is a big shift in your life, especially if you've been a drinker for a long time, or you've drank a reasonable quantity, and alcohol is very embedded and is part of your ecosystem, if I can word it like that. But for all of you out there that, you know, I love the phrase sober curious. If anybody is just questioning it even slightly, should you think about a shift? Should you think about a change in your relationship to alcohol? This is a good time, dry January. I think it's 30 days, based on my experience, is a good period of time to really come away from the habit of drinking alcohol. And it's a good period of time to feel what it feels like not having alcohol for a period of time. And I think you'll get a sense of as to whether you like it or not. Now, I know from listening to other people, dry January is quite difficult as they sort of battle their inner demons and battle their desires to continue to drink. I never really found it as intense as that, but I'm sure many people do. All I can say is I think every day you go through it, you're one step further away from needing to go back and to that environment. And certainly I've found over the last 5 months that the habit of not drinking has become more embedded. It's not to say I can't have a drink, I wouldn't even like one, but it's become more the norm. You know, for example, things I never even thought about. You know, last night my daughter was out late at a party. And I like that she lives away from us and she lives in her own place. I always like to think she's got home safely. So I always say to her, text me when you've got in. She did. She texted me at 10 to 4 this morning and got in. Now I knew that if necessary, I could go and pick her up from wherever she was and get her home. That was not an experience that, one, I probably even contemplated, but certainly didn't want to do, because most mornings at that time I probably still had too much alcohol in my system to drive, at least. So the ability of doing those things, such as driving in the evening, and just is alien to me, really, because, and I've seen other people talk about this, my life was geared up around really having dinner, clearing up, and then breaking open some beers. And that experience, that habit has gone at this point, at least. Which I'm just astounded I even can say to people. It is, in a sense, a nice feeling. In fact, more than nice, it's a wonderful feeling. And I'm starting to get to the point where I'm enjoying, I think. I don't know if this what happens to other people, but I'm starting to get to the point where I'm enjoying the not drinking element. I'm enjoying the sleeping better, which, for me at least, is being significant. Not that I slept badly before, mainly because I was probably intoxicated. Not drunk, but just, sedated enough just to fall asleep like that. Now it is harder to go to sleep, but I definitely sleep better. And deeper is the only way I can word it, and more fulfilling. But, I think it's just an interesting experiment to go through for anybody who's thinking about maybe a shift. I would just try the dry January and see how you feel. Doesn't mean you've got to be away from alcohol for the rest of the year, but it's a good break from it. And it may just make you question, maybe you need to shift it a bit. For me, the next big challenge, and I don't really know what to do here, is could I become a moderate drinker? Could I become a drinker, for example, that, the next sort of celebration I could see on the horizon is my wife's birthday, it's 21st of February. Could I have a drink on the 21st of February, and then the next celebration will probably be potentially my son's on the 12th of April. Could I go and have on the 21st of February maybe a cocktail or two with my wife, and then have nothing till maybe April, or maybe nothing in April? I'm not sure I've got that ability at this moment in time. I'm just fearful that if I had a drink, my brain would rewire, it would light up, and it would say, hey, alcohol's back on the scene. Let's send as many chemical signals through his brain to make him feel as though he wants to drink again. That's what I'm slightly fearful of. Whether I can or I can't, I don't know. Whether that's the right time to test it, I don't know. Whether even thinking about being a moderate drinker is the right thing, I don't know. Part of me says carry on as is, not drinking at all. Part of me says I'd like to, but then I question, why would I? What benefit would I get from it? Because I'm not getting it now. So what benefit would I get from it? And this is something that's going between, if you like, if you can imagine on both shoulders, there's the have a drink character on one shoulder and there's don't have a drink on the other one. They're arguing against each other. I'm stuck in the middle. Right now, however, the one that's saying don't have a drink is winning, including the 21st of February, because I probably won't, but I might. I've just got to test it, or I may have to test it at some point. But all I can say to all of you out there, look, if you're like me, and like I think frankly millions of people, particularly millions of people that have got themselves into a bit of a habit, probably over many, many years. This is something just happens yesterday. This has taken years, and you want a shift, and you want to reset, if you like. Then there's plenty of information out there, plenty of programs, paid and unpaid. There's tons of videos out there from people frankly, like me, people I think who have worse circumstances, maybe slightly better. But people have got a different journey and a story, and it's well worth listening to them. You will find there is a lot of common traits between all of us. There's a lot of support out there that you can draw in on, but you've got to have a bit of an open mind, and you've got to be willing to apply yourself a little bit. But this is the end of my sort of ramble in dry January. I'll give you another update in a few days to a week, just to let you know how I'm getting on and what's going through my mind. In the meantime, maybe put the drink down.